For years, I believed our marriage was a delicate balance of love and understanding. Every morning, he would glance at me with that quiet smile that made my heart flutter, as if he held a secret only I could ever know. Our home was filled with routines, small gestures, and a language only we seemed to understand. I thought I knew him completely. Yet, beneath the comfort, a storm was brewing, one I never imagined I would encounter. I had noticed subtle changes, longer hours at work, more distant glances, fleeting touches that seemed hesitant rather than loving. But I brushed them aside, telling myself it was stress, that love was not always loud, that the foundation we had built would hold through anything. It began one seemingly ordinary evening. I had prepared a simple dinner, candles flickering softly in the background, music playing low. The kind of night I thought we would share countless times. He walked in, carrying that same calm aura that had always made me feel safe, and yet something was different. His eyes lingered longer than usual on my movements, a quiet intensity one had never felt before. He asked me to sit, and as I did, I noticed a hesitation in his voice. "I love seeing you like this," he said, his tone gentle, almost reverent. "Doing what you love, feeling free." At first, I smiled, thinking it was a compliment about cooking, about how I always seemed to radiate joy when engaged in something creative. But then, the words dug deeper. I realized he was watching, not just with admiration, but with a kind of hunger, a fascination I hadn't fully understood. At first, I laughed it off. "I'm just making dinner," I told him, but he shook his head. "No," he said softly, "it's more than that. Seeing you lost in yourself, passionate, unaware, there's something intoxicating about it. I love it." His words should have made me feel special, cherished. Instead, a tiny seed of doubt began to sprout. That night, as I lay in bed, I could not shake the feeling that there was more behind his fascination. It wasn't just admiration. It was a quiet obsession, a fixation that he had nurtured over time. And then came the day I found the messages. Hidden, subtle, but unmistakable. Conversations with women I barely knew, compliments about my actions, my expressions, my very presence, shared in a way that felt invasive, voyeuristic. I confronted him, my voice trembling despite my efforts to remain composed. "Why?" I asked. "Why are you sharing these things with strangers? Why are you watching me like this?" He looked at me, eyes steady, and said words I will never forget. "Because I can't help it. I've never stopped noticing you, even when I should have, even when I tried to act like it was nothing." At that moment, the world seemed to tilt. The love I thought I had shared, the trust one had assumed, felt suddenly fragile. The man I married, the man I believed I knew completely, had desires and secrets that I had never imagined. And yet, even in the shock, there was a strange clarity. I realized that infidelity is not always about physical acts. It can be about the mind, the obsession, the thrill of seeing someone unaware of your gaze. I spent the next few days in silence, replaying his words, the messages, the intensity in his eyes. Friends asked why I seemed distant, and I lied, saying work was stressful, that I was tired. No one could understand the turmoil inside me, the betrayal of being seen, of being observed in my private moments, the realization that love can sometimes take a form you never expected. And then came the evening when he tried to reach out, the way he always does when he senses distance. He sat beside me, hands folded, voice calm. "I never meant to hurt you," he said. I can't stop noticing you. Seeing you, I didn't think it was wrong, just intense, natural." I looked at him, really looked at him, and saw the man I had loved for years, the man who had held me in his arms when I cried, who had whispered promises in the dark, who had seemed so familiar, so safe. But I also saw the stranger, the one who had crossed boundaries I could not forgive, who had let obsession masquerade as love. I realized then that there is a line between admiration and intrusion, between love and obsession, and that line had been crossed. I would always remember the way he watched me, the way he spoke, the way my privacy had been unknowingly invaded. And yet, amidst the hurt and disbelief, there was a strange lesson. Love, even when tainted by obsession, teaches you to see the truths about those closest to you.